The Young and the Restless spoilers for Thursday, October 31, reveal that it'll be a day of tricks and treats in Genoa City. For starters, Sharon Newman will react to an unexpected visitor, so this could bring some unsettling moments. It's possible Phyllis Summers will show up on Sharon's doorstep to harass her, but it's also possible this visitor won't be there in the flesh. Could Sharon's visitor be more like Cameron Kirsten and happen inside her own mind? Since it'll be Halloween, we wouldn't be surprised if Heather Stevens popped up looking ghoulish to blame Sharon for her demise. However, Sharon will pretend everything is fine as she joins Maria Copeland, Tessa Porter, and Aria Porter Copeland for some Halloween fun in the park. Aria will be dressed in a costume along with Dominic Newman Winters Abbott Chancellor, who'll spend some time with Devin Hamilton Winters and Abby Newman Abbott in the park as well. At some point, Lily Winters will have some updates that disappoint Devin. It sounds like Devin will once again push Lily to forget about Chancellor and just come back to Winters, but she'll refuse to budge. It's clear that Lily thinks she can steal the CEO seat back from Billy Abbott, but maybe she shouldn't be so certain. Speaking of Billy, he'll manage to get on Victoria Newman's bad side in Thursday's I and R episode. Billy and Adam Newman are gearing up for more tension, so Victoria may have to play referee. Victoria's patience will officially run out, so she'll lose her temper and worry about the toll all the family feuding could take on the kids, especially Connor Newman and Johnny Abbott. Fortunately, Johnny and Connor will have a blast admiring each other's costumes during the Halloween festivities, so Victoria, Adam, and Chelsea Lawson will witness some half-brother bonding. Our Y and R predictions hint that Billy and Adam's feud could get worse in the coming episodes, thanks to Victor Newman pulling the strings, so stay tuned. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Victor will remain a schemer who's willing to play dirty, so don't miss all the stunning news and heated confrontations ahead. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. This Halloween, The Young and the Restless promises some serious chills and thrills for Genoa City's residents as secrets emerge and tensions flare. As everyone gathers for the holiday, surprising confrontations and revelations make for a dramatic day. Nick's dilemma. Nick faces a tough decision after new evidence threatens to upend his recent efforts to protect a loved one. As he tries to balance loyalty with his moral compass, the weight of his choices starts to take its toll. Phyllis game. Phyllis continues to pull strings behind the scenes, determined to get what she wants, even if it means stepping on some toes. But will her cunning maneuvers backfire? Sharon and Chance's discovery. Sharon and Chance uncover a lead in their latest investigation that could change everything. But as they inch closer to the truth, danger seems to follow them closely. Stay tuned as the drama heats up this Halloween on The Young and the Restless. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, October 30, 2024 are here. In tomorrow's episode, fans can expect Sally Spectra to get an unexpected assignment. Victor Newman warns Kyle Abbott. Coming up on The Young and the Restless. Plus, Lily Winters stands her ground with Nikki Newman. Keep reading to find out what is coming up in the next episode of the CBS soap opera. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Nikki Newman's Olive Branch 2.0. Y&R spoilers for Wednesday, October 30 reveal that Lily and Nikki will cross paths once again. Nikki will try to extend another olive branch to Lily. Nikki will suggest that they join forces and run Chancellor together. However, Lily will not have a change of heart. Lily will stand firm that she is going to run Chancellor on her own. Lily might regret this, though. After giving intel to Victor, Jill Abbott might decide to take back full control. Y&R spoilers. Kyle Abbott warned. On Wednesday, October 30, fans can expect Victor to take action after getting a sinful proposition from Diane Jenkins Abbott. Of course, Diane targeting her own son is a bit of a reach, even with her history. It's still possible that this is all a big trick and Diane is luring Victor into a trap. In any case, Victor will give Kyle a warning. Will Victor tell Kyle about Diane's proposition? Or will Victor just vaguely tell Kyle to watch his step as Diane will be out for revenge? Another possibility is that Victor warns Kyle that he better step it up as there is another candidate. That could push Kyle to do even more damage to Jebot. However, Victor doesn't know that Kyle is warming back up towards Jack Abbott. So Kyle will face another fork in the road. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Wednesday, October 30, 2024. On Wednesday, October 30, fans will also see Sally get an unexpected assignment. The writers have done zilch with Sally's character recently. Sally is overdue for an interesting, front-burning storyline. So, what is this new assignment and what does it mean for Sally's future? For some reason, I'm thinking it has something to do with Victor. If Victor is going to scheme with Diane, then he will make alliances with just about anyone. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Wednesday, October 30, 2024? What are your predictions for Sally, Victor, Jack, Kyle, and Diane? What does the future hold for Lily, Nikki, Devin Hamilton Winters, Nate Hastings, and the other residents of Genoa City? In the full episode of The Young and the Restless for Wednesday, October 30, fans can expect a whirlwind of drama, secrets, and confrontations that could alter Genoa City's landscape. Here's what's in store. Nate and Elena's tense showdown. Nate grapples with a difficult decision that places him at odds with Elena. As he weighs his options, their relationship teeters on the edge, revealing deeper issues of trust and loyalty. Will Elena be able to understand his position, or will this be the breaking point? Sharon's new discovery. Sharon stumbles upon an unexpected piece of information that could have serious repercussions for her and those closest to her. This revelation may push her to make a risky choice to protect her loved ones. Could Sharon's actions backfire, or will she successfully keep things under wraps? Victoria and Billy's secret pact. In a surprising twist, Victoria and Billy find themselves in agreement on a sensitive matter. However, their secrecy raises questions about their motives and whether they're truly on the same page. Will this alliance bring them closer together, or will it drive a deeper wedge? Victor's game-changing plan. Victor steps up his game with a daring new plan to secure his family's legacy. But his strategy involves making some morally gray decisions that could come back to haunt him. Can Victor stay one step ahead, or will his ambition place his family in jeopardy? Phyllis's ultimate power move. Never one to back down, Phyllis executes a bold move that could shift the balance of power in her favor. Her actions threaten to upend business dynamics and personal relationships in Genoa City, leaving fans on edge to see how it all unfolds. Don't miss this Young and the Restless episode, as old alliances are tested, new secrets emerge, and everyone fights to keep their place in Genoa City. Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, October 30 indicate some plot twists on the horizon in Genoa City. Someone gives their employee a stern warning, while another is given an unexpected assignment, and there's a major confrontation brewing. What kind of drama is set to unravel on Wednesday? Time to dive right in. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Victor Newman's warning. My and our spoilers for Wednesday, October 30 reveal Victor Newman will give Kyle Abbott a warning. During Tuesday's show, Diane Abbott tried to convince the mustache to fire Kyle and hire her at Glissade. Is this warning the first step in doing this? My and our spoilers, Sally Spectra's unexpected assignment. Across town, Y and R spoilers for Wednesday, October 30 imply that Sally Spectra will receive an unexpected assignment. Could this be from Summer Newman, her boss at Marchetti, Or is this unexpected assignment something personal? Could it be coming from Billy Abbott? Fans will have to tune in to find out. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Lily Winters stands her ground. Lastly, Y and R spoilers for Wednesday hint that Lily Winters will stand her ground against Nikki Newman. It looks like the two will have a face-off, and Ms. Moustache will try to convince Lily to join her at Chancellor. Lily will likely flat-out refuse unless Nikki is offering up that CEO spot. Lily feels mighty betrayed by both Nikki and Victor. After all, they promised her the Chancellor CEO job to get information from her, but were planning on giving it to Nikki the entire time. Lily now doesn't trust either of them and is saddened by all this since the Newmans were so close to her dad, Neil Winters. If these two ladies have a confrontation, who will budge? Probably neither of them. What storyline are you most looking forward to on Wednesday? Share your thoughts below. Watch the CBS soap daily so you don't miss a moment of the drama, and visit SOS for the most up-to-date Young and the Restless spoilers and news. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Audra Charles could be keeping some secrets that fans aren't privy to just yet. Back in 2022, Audra made a confession to Noah Newman that certainly raised viewers' suspicions. At the time, Audra told Noah that toward the end of their relationship, when things got bad, she found out she was pregnant. Since Audra didn't want it to look like emotional blackmail, she kept quiet and was hoping to tell Noah once their relationship was in a better place. Instead, Audra supposedly miscarried and went through that painful experience alone. However, we have to consider the possibility that Audra lied about that miscarriage and gave the baby up for adoption or even handed the kid over to a family member to raise. That's especially true based on a new hint in Y and R's October 30 episode. Nate Hastings suggested it was hard to fathom Amy Lewis letting all those years go by without ever telling Nathan Hastings he had a son. Audra appeared uncomfortable as she advised Nate not to judge Amy on that. It seemed like Audra was speaking from personal experience when she said there were a lot of reasons why Amy might have felt the need to keep the news a secret. Audra even stuttered a bit as she responded to Nate, so we definitely got some nervous vibes, like maybe she was holding back a secret of her own. If so, that could tie in with this speculation that perhaps Audra didn't actually miscarry Noah's baby. Perhaps that child lived and is still out there somewhere growing up without Audra and Noah. It could pave the way for the truth to come out and blow things up down the road. Of course, it's also possible Audra had a secret kid with someone else once upon a time. No one can rule it out since fans honestly don't know many details when it comes to Audra's past. Whatever the case, Audra's secret child angle is an interesting idea to ponder. One that could change multiple lives if the show decides to pursue this storyline. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Audra could deliver some curveballs eventually, so we'll bring you more predictions on her future and pass along any shocking updates to come. The shelf life for films and shows has become dramatically tiny in modern times, yet The Young and the Restless has managed to sustain for decades and through several seasons of the daytime soap. The iconic CBS soap is now all set to ring in its 13,000th episode. We are not even sure if we can count all the way through 13,000, but the soap has managed to pull out that many episodes from its hat. If that's not stunning, we don't know what is. However, the only thing just as entertaining as these 13 episodes is the cast of The Young and the Restless trying to prepare for the milestone episodes. Laura Lee Bell took it upon herself to bring to us the antics the Y and R stars involve themselves in for the Big Bang number the soap is about to ring. She took to her Instagram account to post a video montage featuring some of our most loved cast members. The video begins with Laura Lee announcing that they are all ready for the 13,000th episode. However, she also admits that the words are a little difficult to say. Thus, they'll all have to practice saying it. The montage cuts to Joshua Morrow and Connor Floyd, rounding up their 13,000th push-up. Although we wonder what happened to the other 12,999 push-ups, will we get a separate video on that? Next, we see Dominic pull his impressive 13,000 kettlebell reps on the stairs. Him again, no sight of the previous 12,999. We're beginning to see a pattern here literally. But hey, we aren't complaining. It's all entertaining as hell. The video then cuts to Christian Jules Leblanc, and he's his wittiest best. He lets go of the tongue twister altogether and just shouts 13k. Also read, Jack loses his wife, but gains an angry ally. The mustache is going down. The montage then comes to a conclusion with Eric Braeden and Michelle Stafford thanking the fans for their support. The mustache's real-life alter also let out a few chuckles about how brutal it is to say 13,000th episode. But all our beloved stars seem resolute to acing phrase in time. So, stay tuned to Soap Opera Daily for more The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates on the milestone episode. The Young and the Restless spoilers indicate that Victoria Newman will put out yet another fire between Adam Newman and Billy Abbott. However, Victor Newman continues to add fuel to the fire. Will Victoria finally turn against her father in the end? The Young and the Restless spoilers, Halloween is around the corner. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Johnny Abbott could want to spend some time with his brother, Connor Newman. Of course, Johnny and Connor are a little old to be out trick-or-treating, but they could spend some time together at Crimson Lights. It looks like Adam, Victoria, and Chelsea Lawson will be there. Billy is likely to show up at some point as well. Of course, Billy won't be in a good mood because of issues with Jill Abbott. It doesn't help that Adam has been publishing his attacks against Billy as well. Billy and Adam would never fight in front of the boys. However, everyone feels that tension and Victoria will do her best to shut it down. Y and R spoilers. Adam Newman deserves payback. Billy may decide later that Adam does deserve payback for the attack at Society as well. Billy will be highly tempted to make this happen, but it seems that Victoria will manage to shut it down. Victoria knows this is a temporary fix as long as Victor keeps adding fuel to the fire. A fire that Victor plans to keep stroking until Billy has nothing. Now that Billy is no longer with Chelsea, Victor has no trouble whatsoever with going after Billy, no matter what it does to his grandchildren. Victor has already proven that he will do whatever it takes to get Abbott Chancellor. Billy is nothing but collateral damage. Victor wants to break Billy to prove how weak he is. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Victoria Newman worries about this feud. With Victor pulling Adam's strings like the original puppet master, it is hard telling how far Victor will push this or how far Victor will go. However, Billy will not give up the company without a fight. Victoria doesn't want these three children caught in the middle of all of this. Victoria will no doubt give Cole Howard updates, but he knows not to get involved as well. Spoilers suggest that Victor may have some other bad news for Billy as well. Regardless, Adam isn't going anywhere. Can Victoria rein in her father, or will this arguing continue? Can Victoria ever get Victor to back off of Billy's case and leave the company alone? Will Jill return to power and put Victor in his place once and for all? Get ready, the Young and the Restless fans. Next week's episodes, airing November 4 to 8, are packed with shocking twists and long-awaited drama. From Sharon Newman's next target to Victor's jaw-dropping surprise for Nikki, there's plenty to keep viewers on the edge of their seats. Let's dive into the highlights. Sharon's new target? It seems Sharon Newman might have her sights set on a new victim. Could she be gearing up for another dangerous move? As always, her bipolar disorder adds an unpredictable edge to her actions, making everyone around her a potential target. And with Phyllis digging into Sharon's past, we can expect explosive confrontations soon. Victor's staggering surprise for Nikki. Victor Newman is no stranger to keeping secrets from his wife, Nikki, but this time, it seems he's pulling out all the stops to stun her. After a series of revelations that have shaken their marriage, Victor reveals something unexpected, one that might just restore Nikki's faith in him. However, while Nikki is distracted by this grand gesture, there's another layer of deception brewing. Is Victor really done with his feud against Jack Abbott, or is this just the calm before the storm? Wedding Bells with a Twist. Abby Newman is in full wedding mode and enlists Sally Spectra to design a spectacular gown. But here's the catch. Sally only has 2 weeks to make it happen. In a surprising turn, Sally accepts the challenge with grace, and the sketch of the dress leaves Abby in awe. But Abby's excitement might be short-lived as tension with Audra Charles escalates. Could their personal differences impact the big day? Kyle and Victor's secret alliance. In an unexpected meeting, Victor corners Kyle Abbott, demanding answers about Jack and Diane's breakup. Kyle denies leaking any secrets, but Victor's next move might shock everyone. Kyle's refusal to return to Jabot could set off a chain reaction that pits him against his own family. Could Victor be pulling the strings behind the scenes? The wedding venue's dark history in a stunning reveal. The newly renovated ranch will host Abby and Devon's wedding. But here's where it gets interesting. This is the same ranch Sharon burned down during one of her manic episodes years ago. Now, with the venue back in pristine condition, it serves as a reminder of Sharon's turbulent past. Will old wounds be reopened, especially with Sharon potentially attending the wedding? The final showdown. Sharon versus Phyllis. As Phyllis continues to dig into Sharon's secrets, she's convinced Sharon is framing her son Daniel for murder. But Sharon, not one to back down, might be more dangerous than ever. With Phyllis determined to expose the truth, is she walking straight into Sharon's trap? The stakes are high, and as Sweeps Week approaches, fans can expect explosive drama that could end in tragedy. Don't miss the drama. With sweeping changes, major confrontations, and a wedding full of potential disaster, next week promises to be a wild ride. What's Victor really up to? Can Sharon outmaneuver Phyllis? And will Abby's dream wedding go off without a hitch? Tune in to find out. It's been a minute since the Winters and Hastings families have much in the way of storyline on Young and Restless outside of business dealings, but all that is about to change. Lily's embroiled in trying to get control of Chancellor back from Billy, whilst also keeping it out of the hands of Victor Newman. A tall order indeed. Thankfully, she has Jill on her side. Devon, meanwhile, is happily running his company his way, with his cousin Nate as his right-hand man. A development we'd never had believed if you had suggested it a year ago. Devon's also neck-deep in wedding plans, as his nuptials to Abby are fast approaching, and with them bringing the return of Harmony and Anna, his mother and his biological half-sister. But, as we've recently learned, the ever-expanding family tree has sprouted another branch. Amy Lewis, who worked with Nathan at Paul Williams' detective agency back in the days before Nate was born, just dropped the totally unexpected bomb that he has an older half-sibling. Nate was stunned to learn that not only did Amy and Nathan have an affair that produced a child, but that his father never knew about his other son. Amy raised Damien with another man he believed to be his father. The loss of his father sent Damien into a tailspin, and his location is currently unknown to Amy, who is growing increasingly desperate to find him since she's dying of leukemia. Enter Nate, who has been asked to find his sibling and break all of this earth-shattering news before it's too late. We're guessing Amy will rest much easier knowing Damien has connected with his last remaining family member. But as Amy's story unfolded and Nate retold it to Audra and Devon, it all began to sound a little familiar. Nate's being painted as the responsible, upstanding doctor-turned-executive who has made a success of his life, while Damien is being characterized as the troubled sibling and a wanderer with no known address, who hasn't made an effort to stay in touch with family. If you're not getting deja vu yet, you may not be a longtime viewer of Young and Restless, because those peeps know that this is exactly the story of Neil and Malcolm Winters. The only difference is that Neil was the older sibling to his wild child younger brother Mal. In the present-day story, Nate is younger than Damien, who appears to be our new Malcolm. All that remains to be seen is if Damien will bring the same type of upheaval to the family that Malcolm did back in his day. If you'll recall, Malcolm slept with Neil's wife Drusilla when she was out of it on cough syrup and ended up fathering her child, none other than Lily. We'd best keep a close eye on what happens with Nate's girlfriend Audra when Damien makes his way to Genoa City. Young and the Restless spoilers note that fans continue to be perplexed over just how hard the Dak relationship has fallen. During the past few weeks, Diane Abbott has been fighting with Jack Abbott in very public settings. The final shoe dropped recently when Jack booted her out of the Abbott mansion and fired her from Jabot. Is this a rouse between Jack and Diane to fool Victor Newman into firing Kyle Abbott? Or is Diane playing sacrificial lamb and doing this on her own to help bring Kyle and Jack back on the same page? The Young and the Restless spoilers are Jack and Diane Abbott working together. I and our fans have a sneaking suspicion that Jack and Diane are working together and faking marital issues. In doing so, they can convince Victor to work with Diane, and then they'd be one leg up on what kind of revenge the Moustache has planned. After all, Victor has been privy to all their public outbursts. Is this a coincidence, awesome timing, or perhaps a well-thought-out plan? I and our spoilers, Diane Abbott is on her own. Then again, what if Diane has purposely orchestrated this all on her own? Diane is the one who's been instigating the fights and has been the loudest. Plus, she seems to be the reason behind Dak's breakup, admitting that she is ambitious, with both Jack and Kyle believing she only schemed her way back into their hearts because she wanted control, power, and money. It's also hard to ignore the fact that Kyle is inching closer to Jack in the aftermath of all this. During the Tuesday, October 29 episode, Diane made a deal with Victor to conspire against Kyle and Jack. She asked the Moustache to fire Kyle and have her run Glissade. At the close of the show, Diane walked by Kyle and Jack at the GCAC to get to her hotel suite and saw her son and husband commiserating. She almost seemed pleased by it. So could she be secretly throwing herself under the bus to ensure their relationship stays on track? Is Diane doing all this on her own to get Kyle and Jack back on the same page? Share your thoughts below. Watch the CBS Soap Daily so you don't miss a moment of the drama, and visit this site for the most up-to-date Young and the Restless spoilers and news. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. Diane arrives in Victor's office, and she says it was clear he didn't want to take her up on her offer in front of Nikki. It's obvious he's kept her in the dark about Glissade. Victor didn't call her there to talk about his wife. Diane says, "That's right, you called me here to talk about revenge." He's interested to hear what her twisted mind has come up with. He reminds her they were married, and he knows how she operates. Diane complains that her family turned their back on her. She doesn't deserve to be treated this way, so whatever happens next is justified. She wants Victor to fire Kyle and allow her to take over Glissade as CEO. She can't think of anything more painful for Jack except him finding out she orchestrated the plan. Victor tells her if he agrees to this, there's no turning back. Diane's ready to take this to the very end. At the club bar, Jack tells Kyle he hasn't spoken to his mother, and he's going to Paris tonight to bring Ashley home. They agree it's great news, but Jack worries what he's walking his sister into. It's going to be different at the house, and it could impede her progress. Jack misses her and likes having her nearby. Kyle offers to help with the transition. He's been rethinking his decision to move out. Without Diane around, things might be more tolerable. Jack tells his son how much this means to him. Kyle smirks that Ashley might be glad his mother got the boot. She saw through her act. Jack says he should have listened to her, and Nikki and Phyllis too. Kyle thinks they should be ready for some gloating. At his apartment, Nate answers a knock on the door. It's Amy Lewis, who thanks him for seeing her again. It's been a long time since I've been in Genoa City. It's nice to be back. Nate tells her he didn't expect to hear from her again so soon. He asks why she came back after all these years. Amy says they have unfinished business. There's something she didn't tell him when he came to see her. She wanted to see what kind of man he was before she decided whether or not to open up to him. I wasn't sure if I was ready. Nate says she's there, so she must have decided to share. Amy tells him that when she lived there before, she and his father were more than coworkers and friends. We were pretty seriously involved. Nate asks why she's telling him this now. Amy says there's something he needs to know, something your father never knew. Phyllis spots Chance on the patio at Crimson Lights and says she needs to talk to him. She protests that he arrested the wrong person. Chance won't let her go off on him and says he can't discuss this with her. Phyllis sits down and informs him that as the mother of the woman he's dating, he can give her a couple of minutes. She wonders what Summer's going to think when she finds out he arrested her brother. Phyllis tells Chance all he has to do is find Heather's real killer. Chance says that's easier said than done and informs her there is zero evidence against Sharon. It's in the DA's hands. Pointing the finger at someone she has a history with isn't going to change anyone's minds. Phyllis decides she'll just have to find the evidence herself. At Society, Daniel's thankful Christine got him out on bail. Christine knows he didn't do this. Daniel complains everyone is looking at him. It reminds him of him and Lily going on the run after Cassie's accident. Christine thinks it shows he has nothing to hide. She asks if he knows who the real killer could be. Daniel says his mother has a theory, but it's out there even for her. Christine will entertain anything right now, even something from Phyllis' twisted mind. Daniel says his mom thinks Sharon's responsible. Christine finds this a hell of a stretch. Daniel knows that Sharon's been dealing with a lot of old feelings about Cassie's death. He admits that he went and accused her. Christine cringes and warns him not to engage with her again. She reflects on Phyllis' past with Sharon. Maybe she was looking for a scapegoat to protect him. Daniel concedes this could be true. Chris says it may actually work to their advantage. At her house, Sharon reads that Daniel's been arrested. Her jaw drops. Hallucination Nick appears and says, "You can't be surprised. You knew this was coming. You made it happen." Sharon says that doesn't make it any easier. What she set in motion is now reality. Daniel has been arrested. Sharon keeps imagining what Daniel is going through, being accused of murdering the woman he loves. Lucy has seen her father arrested. She's lost them both. It's too painful to bear. Nick tells her she can't go on like this. You need to be honest about what happened that night. Come clean. Think about how much better you'll feel. Sharon agrees. The guilt is too much. Someone knocks at the door and Hallucination Nick disappears. Sharon opens the door to real Nick. He asks, "What's wrong?" Sharon tells Nick she's having doubts and blurts. Daniel has been arrested. Nick doesn't believe he would kill Heather or anyone else for that matter. Sharon says the police must have found enough evidence to bring charges. Nick's sure Chance would have been very careful before arresting Summer's brother. Sharon suggests maybe it was an accident. Maybe they fought and it got out of hand. Nick remembers that the last time Daniel was involved in an accidental death, he went on the run. He's not that person anymore. Sharon is sure that if Daniel had any involvement in what happened, he'd have turned himself in. Nick asks if Fate's heard about Daniel. Sharon doesn't think so. Nick thinks it will be Jering. Sharon says they'll make sure she's Oak. Now she can see why Phyllis was so desperate to pin this on her. She saw the walls closing in on her son. At Nate's place, Amy tells him she's kept this secret for so long, it seems impossible to say it out loud. What Nathan never knew is that the last time I saw him, I found out I was pregnant. Nate asks if his dad was the father. Amy says yes. She never told him because she had already found another man. She let that man believe the baby was his. Nate marvels, I have a half-brother, a brother I never knew about. Amy says his name is Damien. She never told him the truth either. Even after her husband passed, she still couldn't tell her son. Nate squints, and it hasn't been the right time since. Amy shakes her head. Nate asks why she's telling him this now. At society, Daniel asks Christine what her strategy is. She wants to show that Sharon is a plausible suspect to raise reasonable doubt in the minds of the jury. The best-case scenario is finding the real killer by the time they go to trial, but they may have to do this. His future is on the line. She's not just defending him because he's Danny's son. There's something off about this. If they have to go in front of a judge and jury, she'll make sure she has all the ammunition she needs in her arsenal. In Victor's office, he asks Diane why he should believe her. They accused him of being enemy number one. Diane says that now that the Abbotts have burned her, his ulterior motives aren't her concern, except that she can use them to her advantage. She rants that their love was conditional. It's their turn to hurt. Victor smirks. He tells her he'll consider her plan, but first he needs a show of trust. I need proof of your sincerity and your loyalty. How come up with that is your choice. Surprise me. Diane tells Victor he'll get his proof and she's ready to go all in. He's never had to apologize for having family and power, but when she wants that she's some kind of monster. Betrayal is motivational. Just then, Nikki walks in and asks, "What the hell are you doing here?" At Nate's place, Amy tells him there's something more he needs to know. I was sick, very sick, dying in fact. But she's worried about Damien. When she's gone, he'll be all alone with no one to turn to. He's been lost since her husband died, and he's disappeared. They had a hard time, the two of them, but he'd always reach out to let her know he's OK. This time he hasn't. She has to find him before it's too late. Amy is there to beg him to find his brother. Nate asks, "What is it, Amy? What kind of illness do you have?" She has leukemia and has a few months, maybe a year to live. Nate broaches the idea of promising treatments. All she needs is something she knows she has no right to ask him. I'm begging you anyway. Damien doesn't know that I'm sick, and he needs to know. I need to say goodbye. Nate asks why she came to him when she could hire a professional. At society, Phyllis tells Christine, "This better be good." Christine says, "Hello to you two." She lays out that they hate each other, but she hates losing even more. She'd never throw Daniel's case. She will do everything in her power to make sure he's exonerated. Phyllis asks why she called her there. Christine hears she has a theory about Sharon Newman. With the right spin, it might be beneficial. Phyllis can't believe someone is finally listening to her, and of all people, it's you. In Victor's office, Nikki tells Diane that Jack and Kyle have suffered enough due to her. She calls her pathetic and says Victor won't help her. Diane smirks, "Sorry I've wasted your time, Victor," and leaves. Nikki rants about having security keep her out. Victor says he summoned her. Nikki gawps, "What?" Sharon opens her door to Chance and Christine. Well, this is a surprise. She invites them inside. "What can I help you with?" Christine says they're there to talk to her about Heather's murder. "We know your story isn't true." Sharon asks Chance to tell her that he believes her. Chance can't do that. They found new evidence that contradicts her version of events. He places her under arrest and slaps the cuffs on her. Sharon rants and screams as Phyllis and Daniel come in. Phyllis says her lies have finally caught up with her. Daniel points, "You're going to pay for your crimes." Sharon hollers, No, stop it." Suddenly, Sharon wakes up. It was all a bad dream. At the club, Jack tells Kyle they'll get through this and maybe come out better on the other side. Kyle smiles, sooner rather than later, I hope. Behind them, Diane walks in and stops to watch them. She struts over and muses, well, look at this. Are they bonding over their mutual disgust for her? Jack says that's no longer her concern and suggests she leave town if she doesn't like it. Kyle thinks that's a good idea. Why doesn't she go back to Los Angeles to be Taylor Jensen, since living a lie is all she knows how to do? Both men walk out. In Victor's office, Nikki asks him to please tell her he's joining forces with Diane to go after Jack. He just wanted to see how far she would go. Nikki can see he's up to his old tricks. He's either egging Diane on or he's actually planning to help her. Either way, she won't put up with it. She won't allow him to further his vendetta against Jack. Victor reminds her no one dictates to him. He'll handle the damn thing. In Nate's apartment, Amy knows he was a fantastic doctor. The man who raised Damien was also a doctor. He looked up to him, which is part of why she couldn't bring herself to tell him the truth. She's hoping Nate will find his brother, get to know him, and maybe be a mentor. He's older than Nate, but he can fill a void. Nate gathers she wants to track down a man and tell him how to run his life. Amy knows it's a lot, but will ask him to think about it. She'll stay in town until she knows what he's decided. Nate will get back to her. Amy thanks him and leaves. At Society, Christine tells Phyllis that she's not saying she thinks Sharon's guilty. She just had to create reasonable doubt for the jurors. Her son's life is hanging in the balance. For Daniel's sake, they have to put aside their differences and work together. Phyllis can't believe she's saying this. What do you need me to do? The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Paris, the city of romance and light, has now become the backdrop for one of Ashley Abbott's darkest and most dangerous battles. What was supposed to be a brief reunion with Alan took an alarming twist, pulling her into a terrifying game of deception and survival. A suspicious reunion. From the beginning, Ashley was unsettled when Alan unexpectedly returned to Paris without Tracy, his partner. Meeting him in a small cafe overlooking the scene, she quickly sensed that something was off. Alan's demeanor seemed cold, his gestures unfamiliar, and there was a darkness in his gaze that Ashley couldn't ignore. His pauses, his vague responses, it was as if he wore Alan's face, but something far more sinister hid behind his eyes. Unmasking Martin. Determined to get to the truth, Ashley carefully questioned Alan, testing him with memories and details of their past. To her horror, the truth dawned on her. This man wasn't Alan at all. He was an imposter named Martin, wearing Alan's life like a mask. Though the motives were unclear, Ashley knew they were far from innocent, and she was left with a dilemma. She could either expose him, risking her safety, or flee, leaving her family vulnerable to his schemes. Resolute, she chose to stay and find proof. A dangerous game. Ashley's quiet investigation revealed discrepancies in Alan's financial records and other personal details, confirming her suspicions. But without solid proof, going to the authorities was impossible, especially with Martin covering his tracks so well. Tensions escalated when Martin became aware of her suspicions. His demeanor shifted, and his charming mask slipped, revealing the predator beneath. Ashley felt him watching her everywhere. In her hotel, on the streets of Paris, sending chills down her spine. One evening, as she returned to her apartment, she found Martin waiting in the hallway, blocking her path with a sinister smile. "Looking for something, Ashley?" he asked, his voice menacing. Fighting her fear, Ashley responded with calm defiance. "I know who you are, Martin. You can't hide behind Alan's name forever." Martin laughed, an unsettling sound. "You're alone here, Ashley. No one will believe you." A desperate struggle. Realizing her life was in jeopardy, Ashley tried to contact friends in Genoa City, but without evidence, her pleas went unheard. Even her family struggled to believe her from miles away. But Ashley pressed on, documenting everything she could and staying vigilant. One night, Martin cornered her in her apartment, his voice a cold whisper. One word from me, and you'll be nothing but a tragic accident in Paris." Refusing to back down, Ashley replied, "People will find out who you are, Martin." A struggle erupted as Martin tried to silence her. Ashley fought with all her strength, but just as she began to falter, the door burst open, and there stood Jack Abbott, who had been alerted by one of Ashley's Parisian contacts. The final showdown. With Jack's arrival, the tide turned. Together, Ashley and Jack confronted Martin, finally putting an end to his twisted plot. This gripping showdown promises an intense twist in The Young and the Restless, as Ashley and Jack work to expose the sinister schemes that nearly cost her life. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates tease it's been confirmed that Ashley Abbott is set to be released from her facility shortly. Abby Newman Abbott is eagerly anticipating her mother's return home. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Abby Newman wants both her parents to give her away. Abby is eager for both Ashley and Victor Newman to accompany her down the aisle, making it crucial for her mother to return in time. Fortunately, Y&R spoilers reveal that Eileen Davidson will be reprising her role as Ashley, ensuring she'll be present for Abby's wedding. This moment will be particularly special for Ashley as she witnesses Abby marry Devin Hamilton Winters, a joyful occasion after her dedicated efforts towards recovery. However, there may be new challenges ahead for Ashley's mental well-being. A reunion with Alan Laurent is on the horizon, raising questions about how that encounter will unfold. I&R spoilers. Alan Laurent might pick up Ashley Abbott from the hospital in France. Ellen might decide to pick Ashley up from her facility in France and bring her to Genoa City, or Ashley could choose to fly back solo, eager to embrace her regained independence. While it's clear that Ashley has grown stronger, her reunion with Alan could stir up some complications. She's bound to be taken aback by the romantic connection that has blossomed between Alan and Tracy Abbott in the upcoming episodes. Although Ashley may feel a sense of joy for their love, there's a nagging feeling that something isn't quite right. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Might Alan Laurent really be Martin Laurent? I&R has dropped some intriguing clues suggesting that Alan might actually be his sinister twin brother, Martin Laurent. This raises the possibility that yet another twin switch occurred after the fall from the balcony. If Martin had the opportunity to slip into his late brother's clothes, he could very well be posing as Alan at this moment. It's quite plausible that Martin was the one who survived that fateful night. Alan's apparent unfamiliarity with the Abbott mansion during his first return to GC certainly raised some eyebrows. Additionally, we know that Alan is delving into a psychological study and is keen on interviewing Sharon Newman for the book he's working on. Y&R spoilers. What if Alan is really Martin Laurent? What if this psychological study is actually part of Martin's intricate plan, showcasing just how long he can maintain his disguise as Alan? Regardless of the truth, it would be fascinating to see if Ashley starts noticing any unusual signs. After all, she was tricked by Martin before, but perhaps this time she won't be so easily deceived. Could Ashley begin to piece together some odd connections and become concerned that Tracy might be falling for a sociopath? Upcoming spoilers indicate that Ashley's return will stir up some excitement, so stay tuned for updates on all the unfolding drama and further predictions regarding any potential twin swap revelations. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal a pulse-pounding storyline as Sharon finds herself facing an unexpected high-stakes twist in her life. Imprisoned in the same facility as the cunning and dangerous Jordan, her survival instincts and resilience are tested like never before. Both characters have a complex history filled with secrets and questionable alliances, but being locked up together forces them to re-evaluate their options, and perhaps each other. Unexpected cellmates, dangerous connections. Sharon's new reality is shocking and unsettling. But things intensify further when she discovers her new cellmate is none other than Jordan. This unexpected reunion brings tension and hesitation as the two, both deeply tied to past schemes, find themselves entangled in each other's fate once again. Initially distrustful, Sharon and Jordan are forced to confront the reality that if they want any hope of freedom, they may need to rely on one another. This realization shifts their dynamic, and a tenuous, reluctant partnership begins to take shape. However, this alliance isn't built on friendship. Both Sharon and Jordan are calculating individuals with their own survival instincts and goals. They recognize that aligning with one another might be the only way to regain control over their futures. As they begin to map out a daring plan for escape, both are aware of the risks involved, knowing one wrong move could spell disaster. Plotting a bold escape. The duo's shared desperation sparks a bold escape plan. This isn't a simple scheme. It involves manipulating prison routines, calculating guard rotations, and timing their every move. Jordan, with her deceptive skills and ruthless nature, and Sharon, with her sharp instincts and steady nerves, make a formidable team. They strategize relentlessly, considering every possible angle while understanding that they must also appear cooperative to prison authorities, ensuring they don't attract suspicion. Their plan also involves outside help, a reliable contact who can aid in orchestrating their getaway from the outside. This arrangement, however, introduces a layer of uncertainty. Can they trust their contact? Or could this unknown ally become another complication? With the stakes growing higher each day, Sharon and Jordan's interactions become more strained, yet they find themselves becoming increasingly dependent on each other to make their escape a reality. A plan on the brink. As their plan inches closer to execution, unforeseen challenges emerge, pushing their fragile alliance to the brink. A surprise inspection, a suspicious guard, and rising tensions among other inmates add unexpected layers of complexity to their already precarious plan. Each twist threatens to undo their efforts, testing their resilience and patience. In a world where alliances are temporary and survival is paramount, Sharon and Jordan are forced to question their trust in each other. Betrayal is always a lurking possibility, and both are acutely aware that their partnership may end in a backstab rather than a breakthrough. As the final phase of their plan looms, they find themselves trapped in a nerve-wracking game where any misstep could not only destroy their chances for freedom, but lead to harsher punishments. Will they escape or fall victim to betrayal? The tension is building to a thrilling climax as Sharon and Jordan face the most dangerous moments of their lives. The question remains, will they achieve freedom, or will one of them betray the other at the 11th hour? Fans of The Young and the Restless can expect episodes filled with suspense, danger, and heart-pounding drama as this high-stakes escape plot unfolds. In a heated moment, The Young and the Restless reveals that Nick's protective instincts take a dark turn when he learns of Sharon's shocking arrest. Fueled by anger and frustration, Nick confronts Chance, unleashing his fury with a punch as he demands answers. Sharon's arrest hits Nick hard, stirring unresolved feelings and reminding him of the bond they share, despite their past. As Chance tries to defend his actions, Nick's reaction signals he's willing to do whatever it takes to shield Sharon from further harm. But will this impulsive move backfire, leading to more complications for Sharon? Or can Nick's loyalty help clear her name? With tensions at a boiling point, fans can expect an intense showdown that puts everyone's motives and alliances to the test. In a devastating turn of events, The Young and the Restless has delivered a gut-wrenching plot twist that leaves fans reeling. After being found guilty, Sharon's world spirals into darkness, culminating in an unthinkable act. As the community grapples with the heartbreaking news, questions arise about the circumstances leading to her tragic decision. How will her loved ones cope with this immense loss, and what ripple effects will this have on the lives of those left behind? Stay tuned as the aftermath unfolds, revealing hidden truths and deep emotional turmoil in Genoa City. Corporate wars heat up. The temperature in Genoa City is rising, and we're not talking about the weather. In a day filled with shocking revelations and power moves, the Newman family's grip on Chancellor Winters just got a lot more complicated. Things heated up when Lily Winters confronted Nikki Newman at the GCAC, and let's just say, pleasantries were not on the menu. When Nikki tried to extend an olive branch, Lily wasn't having any of it. "You're a ruthless user like your husband," Lily declared, before dropping a bombshell that sent shockwaves through the room. She's planning to take over Chancellor Winters with Jill Abbott's backing. Family revelations shake Genoa City. In a surprising twist of family dynamics, Devon Hamilton and Nate Hastings shared a touching moment that had us reaching for the tissues. Despite their rocky history, Devon asked Nate to be his best man, leading to an emotional reconciliation that's been years in the making. See also why and our spoilers. Amy Lewis returns after 36 years. What secret about Nate's father is she hiding? But Nate's day wasn't all celebration. He received some earth-shattering news from Amy Lewis about a secret half-brother, leaving him questioning everything he thought he knew about his family. Audra suggests it could be a scam, adding another layer of complexity to this already complicated situation. Wedding bells and dress designs. Speaking of weddings, Abby Newman's throwing herself into planning her nuptials to Devon, starting with recruiting Sally Spectra to design her wedding dress in record time. 2 weeks, no pressure, Sally. The mystery venue remains under Victor's control, which has us wondering what the mustache might be planning for his daughter's big day. Strategic moves and hidden agendas. Victor Newman, ever the chess master, seems to be playing both sides of the board. While he's been telling Devon one thing about pushing Lily back to Winters, Nikki's been singing a completely different tune. When Nikki confronted her husband about this messy situation, Victor insisted Lily was just bluffing and that he could handle Jill. The plot thickened even further when Kyle Abbott met with Victor in the park. Their conversation about Kyle's loyalty, in light of his parents' troubles, left us wondering whose side the young Abbott is really on. Victor's cryptic exit, promising a decision about Kyle's future, has us on the edge of our seats. See also B and B spoilers. Ridge's support of Steffi sends Brooke over the edge. Will Bridge finally break? Latest twists and turns. As the day wound down, Victor made a surprising declaration to Nikki. He's supposedly dropping his vendetta against Jack Abbott to focus solely on Chancellor Winters. But given the mustache track record, we're with Nikki on this one. Since when does Victor Newman ever truly let anything go? The day ended with one final dramatic moment as Lily walked in on Devon and Abby discussing wedding plans at Crimson Lights, leading Abby to ask that million-dollar question, what has my dad done now? What's next in Genoa City? Will Lily succeed in her takeover bid? What will Victor's next move be? And just who is Nate's mysterious half-brother? Share your theories in the comments below. This week's episodes are packed with suspense and jaw-dropping moments, especially for fan favorites like Sharon Newman, Daniel Romalotti, and Nate Hastings. Let's get into the details. Daniel's panic, framed and fearful. Despite Christine's efforts, Daniel Romalotti finds himself in a panic after evidence linked to a crime is discovered in his apartment. The stakes are high. Daniel could face many years in prison for something he didn't do. Naturally, Phyllis Summers is determined to protect her son and won't let him take the fall. She is convinced Sharon Newman is responsible for the entire setup. On Tuesday's episode, Sharon will feel the pressure mounting as Phyllis ramps up her efforts to clear Daniel's name. This escalating tension might push Sharon to consider drastic measures, leading her to believe that eliminating Phyllis could be her only option. Nate's shocking revelation, a long-lost son. Meanwhile, Nate Hastings faces life-changing news. When Amy Lewis returns to Genoa City, she reveals a secret she's been hiding for decades. Nate may have a child he never knew about. Amy discloses that she might have given birth to Nate's son after a brief romance with Nate Hastings Sr., Nate's late father, before leaving town. This revelation leaves Nate in shock as he grapples with the possibility of having an older brother he never knew existed. Amy further explains that her son, Damien, has been unaware of his true parentage, believing another man was his. Shocking news. Carter Walton's bold move could lead to his downfall at Forrester Creations. In a jaw-dropping turn of events, the bold and the beautiful's Carter Walton has made a daring proposal that could change everything for Forrester Creations and possibly end his career at the iconic fashion house. Carter recently pitched an ambitious plan to expand Forrester Creations by partnering with the Young and the Restless's Jabot Cosmetics. Yes, you heard that right. A crossover between B and Y and R may be on the horizon, and fans are buzzing with excitement. Could this be the moment we see two beloved soap universes collide once again? The potential partnership could bring power players like Ashley Abbott or even Sally Spectra into the mix. And speaking of Sally, she's not just sitting on the sidelines. Currently leading a new line at Marchetti, Sally could play a pivotal role in this cosmetics meets fashion collaboration. Rumor has it that she may be tasked with creating fragrances to match Forrester's new designs, blending her creative genius in ways we've never seen before. Could this bring her back to Los Angeles and reunite her with familiar faces at Forrester? But just when it seems like Carter's grand plan could be a game changer, there's a twist no one saw coming. He may be facing the axe at Forrester Creations. That's right, folks. Despite his visionary ideas, Carter could be on the verge of losing his job. As tensions rise at the office, Carter's fate hangs in the balance, leaving us all on the edge of our seats. What will happen next? Will Forrester Creations and Jabot team up for a groundbreaking collaboration, or will Carter's risky move cost him everything? One thing is for sure, there are plenty of twists and turns ahead, and fans won't want to miss a second of the drama. Stay tuned for more shocking updates as this story unfolds. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, October 29, tease that business mogul Victor Newman is called to account. He gets into it with his wife, Nikki Newman, who has been put in a difficult position because of his betrayal of Lily Winters. Is Nikki also furious because she found out that Victor is scheming with Diane Jenkins Abbott? Despite the discord in his life, a smug Victor vows to continue doing what he's doing to ruin Jabot. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Nate is stunned. Meanwhile, Nate Hastings welcomes Amy Lewis to town. She has been gone from Genoa City for a long time, and her visit is not casual. Nate recently visited Amy at her request in order to collect some mementos belonging to his father. Nathan Hastings Sr. Nate and Amy were once a thing, and Nate is convinced that she is hiding something. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Amy has a secret. On Tuesday's show, Annie is ready to spill all to Nate. There are a couple of possibilities here, including that she gave birth to Nate's sibling. Fans think this is a likely probability since a recent casting call pointed to a half-brother for Nate. Suffice it to say that Amy stuns Nate with her disclosure. Y and R spoilers. Daniel in deep trouble. Elsewhere, Daniel Romalotti does not like being in jail for a crime he didn't commit. It falls on Christine Blair to get him out on bail, but she's a lawyer, not a miracle worker. Sharon Newman set Daniel up to take the fall for Heather Stevens' death. Sharon is the killer, or so we have been led to believe. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Did Sharon kill Heather? Sharon planted evidence in Daniel's apartment, and when Chance Chancellor found it, he called in the forensic team. More evidence was found, resulting in Daniel's arrest for the murder of his significant other. Phyllis Summers knows in her heart that Sharon killed Heather. The problem is that no one believes Red since she hates Sharon. Tell us why, and our fans, who will be the first person to start to believe Phyllis, Daniel, or Nick Newman. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Thursday, October 31, reveal that it'll be a day of tricks and treats in Genoa City. For starters, Sharon Newman will react to an unexpected visitor, so this could bring some unsettling moments. It's possible Phyllis Summers will show up on Sharon's doorstep to harass her, but it's also possible this visitor won't be there in the flesh. Could Sharon's visitor be more like Cameron Kirsten and happen inside her own mind? Since it'll be Halloween, we wouldn't be surprised if Heather Stevens popped up looking ghoulish to blame Sharon for her demise. However, Sharon will pretend everything is fine as she joins Maria Copeland, Tessa Porter, and Aria Porter Copeland for some Halloween fun in the park. Aria will be dressed in a costume along with Dominic Newman Winters Abbott Chancellor. We'll spend some time with Devin Hamilton Winters and Abby Newman Abbott in the park as well. At some point, Lily Winters will have some updates that disappoint Devin. It sounds like Devin will once again push Lily to forget about Chancellor and just come back to Winters, but she'll refuse to budge. It's clear that Lily thinks she can steal the CEO seat back from Billy Abbott, but maybe she shouldn't be so certain. Speaking of Billy, he'll manage to get on Victoria Newman's bad side in Thursday's I and R episode. Billy and Adam Newman are gearing up for more tension, so Victoria may have to play referee. Victoria's patience will officially run out, so she'll lose her temper and worry about the toll all the family feuding could take on the kids, especially Connor Newman and Johnny Abbott. Fortunately, Johnny and Connor will have a blast admiring each other's costumes during the Halloween festivities, so Victoria, Adam, and Chelsea Lawson will witness some half-brother bonding. Our Y and R predictions hint that Billy and Adam's feud could get worse in the coming episodes, thanks to Victor Newman pulling the strings, so stay tuned. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Victor will remain a schemer who's willing to play dirty, so don't miss all the stunning news and heated confrontations ahead.